Alright, what's up guys, this is hardwarehobbyist.com. I'm Max.
This is Bill.
This video is going to be our 7th in the unboxing portion of the custom PC building guide, and this will cover the GPU.
Okay, so for what we are needing right now, not a lot of graphics power, so we're just going to be using this 9800 GT. Still a solid graphics card. Again, this is one of my old cards that I didn't use ever since I upgraded, so good that we can put it back to use again. EVGA, great company. I'm wearing their shirt right now. Great customer support, and great products overall, and great warranties. So yeah, there's my shirt. There you go. Okay, so here's the card. Again, comes with a bunch of accessories. Here's that
Here's the cable we're talking about.
Yeah, Molex, the PCI Express adapters. We really don't recommend using these because, again, if your power supply doesn't have enough PCIe wires, connectors, then you probably won't even have enough power to run the card anyway. So those usually, just get thrown around. Here's your HD video splitter thingy. Here's your coaxial. Here's two adapters. These are basically DVI 15. DVI to 15/VGA. A lot of people don't use VGA anymore, but if you do live in the Stone Ages, then of course you're going to need these adapters. There are DVI to HDMI adapters. Sadly, they didn't come with this card, but they are out there if you want to use HDMI for that sound. EVGA includes, manual, CD with drivers and their precision program and other sorts of good stuff. Case badges. Don't know if they give those anymore.
Typically, when you get a new graphics card, I wouldn't actually recommend using the CD at all. Just go online and download the latest drivers for that specific card, because they do fix a lot of bugs in drivers and they update it very frequently. So you're going to be better off downloading new ones than using ones that have been on the CD for a while.
Yep. So here's the card. Pretty old, but still solid. Definitely a good mainstream card. So here's your two DVI ports. Here's your optical. Nothing special. Single slot, which is good for our use because if we are looking to put in multiple cards, etc., always good to have this small form factor. Again, we don't need that much graphics power, so this is always good, especially if you are looking for that compact computer. 512 megabytes of DDR3, I believe. So, graphics card memory, in general, if you are using, or what we recommend, if you're using 1080p, so 1920 by 1080, or above, we generally recommend you have at least 1 gigabyte of video card graphics if you're looking into gaming and that sort of stuff. Just because that's usually the level where you just need that video card memory to process all those shaders in your favorite games. But for our case, again, we're not gaming, so 512 is more than enough. Another thing, the card works in SLI, so here's there's the pins for that, so if you ever want to run two of these together, always good. Yeah, so power requires one PCI 6-pin, so again, that's where that connector from the PSU comes in. You don't want to use the adapter, but just plug it straight in, and that should be all the power you need. Yeah, so Max wanted to talk a little bit about how graphics card companies name their cards.
Yeah, and this goes along with the with how you want to select your graphics card. So basically, NVIDIA started with counting up their series. They would do it by the thousands, and they'd stick some letters after it. And then once they got up to the 900s and they wanted to keep improving, then they stick the letters in front, and then they put a 3-digit number. So as you see here, this is the 9800 GT. Another common card was the GTX, the 9800 GTX, and GTX Plus. And these cards, basically, if you have the GTX, you can assume that that's a little better than the GT, and the GTX Plus is a little better than the one before it. And then after they did that, they started putting the letters in front, so you'd have the GTX 200 series, and Then after that, they moved straight to 400, and then after that, they moved to 500, which have just been being. They just started releasing them now with the 580 and 570. So AMD, on the other hand, has their modern cards usually have an HD in front of them, and they're the HD Radeon series. So, and they'll be in the thousands as well. They had their 3000 series, and the 3870 was a standard card. Then they moved on to the 4870 and the 5870, and now they're just starting to release their 6000 series. And to give you a general idea of equivalency between the two companies, the new cards, as for the GTX 480, which was NVIDIA's top card for a while, is basically equivalent to ATI's HD 5870.
Yes, so I'm biased, of course, but I tend to prefer NVIDIA because of better driver support. But again, that's up to you. In terms of actually buying a card, we're going to have a site or a page specifically on our website for GPUs, just because, of course, if you are looking into gaming, this is going to be a core component of your computer. Again, sites like Newegg and those reviews definitely going to be the most valuable tool you can get.
And again, graphics cards are one of the most tested components on the market, so feel free to Google whatever model you're looking at, and then just put review after that, and you're bound to find a site which will give you some frame rates that the graphics card achieved in all the modern games, and it will compare it to other ones like it.
So we do have another quick thing I want to mention is in terms of temperatures and overclocking. We did make a video a while back basically replacing the thermal compound. So just a quick thing, as on CPUs where you kind of require that thermal paste between the heatsink and the CPU, you can do that on GPUs as well. It's a little bit more complicated, but what you basically do is you unscrew the screws on the back, or in terms of this card, and basically there is the GPU core, and same concept with the CPU, you reapply the thermal compound, and if there's any thermal pads on the memory, you just make sure those are in position, and basically it's just there to lower your temperatures. So if you are looking to overclock, you get that last few millihertz or megahertz out of them.
Alright. Thanks guys, please rate, comment, subscribe, and look forward to our next video, which will cover the RAM.